First off, huge congratulations.
Thank you.
You started this year ranked 333rd in the world, which is kind of amazing, but since then you've been blasting off, 85th going into this tournament, and then you beat not one, not two, not three, but 4 Grand Slam champions, and now you're ranked in the top 25. Take me back to that moment when you realized, I've won this.
I actually just remember the match point and like the game kind of leading up to the victory, and I was like just staying there. Like I was giving myself like the biggest pep talks too. It felt really rewarding at the end because, you know, when I kind of dropped my racket and kind of fell to the floor and so many people were cheering for me, and it was kind of a surreal experience, and I couldn't be more grateful.
When you were going into the final match with Naomi Osaka, you had a swollen wrist. Take us through what was happening that day.
I fell on my wrist in the semifinal against Rebekina, and it was quite painful, but you know, I tried to power through the matches as much as I could, and I tried to finish. Thankfully, I came out with the win in the semis, but my wrist was really swollen for the final, and I was a little bit scared. So we went to the hospital to do some MRI and X-ray, and we wanted to make sure nothing too serious was going on, just so I could prepare for the final. But you know, so many emotions were going through my head at the time. I taped it up really good, took some anti-inflammatory, and tried to forget about it on the court as much as possible.
So US Open is right around the corner, 2 weeks. What are you doing now to not only physically but mentally prepare for that?
US Open is it's been one of my favorite tournaments ever since I was really little. So
this is special.
It is very special for me.
I mean, what you just did was really special. This is special.
Yeah, for the first time to play US Open on the circuit, and as a seed, that's like pretty crazy. I don't really have so many expectations for myself because it's the first time I'm playing, and I just want to have as much fun as possible.
After you won in Montreal, you went over to your coaches and your family. What did it mean to have them there, all there?
There were so many people in the crowd, but you know, they were helping me throughout the whole week. It's always special to have my whole family come to one of my tournaments. That's almost never happened before. We all had so much fun, and yeah, it was just amazing overall.
You're the youngest of 4.
Yes.
And my understanding is you grew up on the courts. How did that shape you and the kind of player you are?
Yeah, I mean, I always grew up watching them play, so I just remember watching from like the side and wanting to be very active and wanting to be included, but I'm a lot younger, so unfortunately
4 years old, I hear, in some cases.
I was too little at the time, but I never really considered myself to be that much younger, and I always wanted to do what they were doing. So eventually I started playing, and I was very competitive, and they were always helping me, giving me tips and tactics on the court.
What was it like to be in front of such a loud, lively, enthusiastic crowd?
I think in Canada, it's one of the only WTA events that we have, and it's a tournament that we all kind of, as a kids, look up to playing, and that's the tournament we see. It's almost like our Grand Slam. So, I mean, to be playing, first of all, in front of the Canadian crowd, it's been amazing. They're super supportive of me, and I couldn't thank them enough because they were really motivating me to keep going, even in difficult times in the matches where I was maybe losing or was down. But, you know, they kind of gave me that extra strength to just keep pushing and keep going for it. And at the end of the day, it really won in my favor.
I can imagine when anybody steps in onto the court and they see Naomi Osaka, or you get nervous or overwhelmed. And I heard you say that you stayed positive with yourself. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really profound. What does that mean for you to stay positive with yourself?
Of course, it can be really intimidating sometimes to be playing with such great players. But, you know, at the end of the day, I also see everyone as human, and I feel like everything is possible. We all have the same equal opportunity to reach for the gold, and that's what I mean, kind of staying positive with myself. I didn't want to let it kind of make me nervous or kind of let me down.
Victoria, in just a few days, you've become a household name across the country. I was mentioning to you, my 16-year-olds were like excited that I was going to be interviewing you. We've heard about your game. I wonder what you want Canadians to know about you outside of tennis.
I feel like I'm a big music lover. Like I really like to. I feel like when you see me a lot, maybe in tournaments, I'd always have headphones in my ear. I feel like music is a way to just keep me zen and have like a good. It helps me have a good mindset too, like having a good rhythm when I go on court.
I've got to ask, who are you listening to?
I listen to a lot of Drake, a lot of SZA, The Weeknd. I feel like I'm very broad with my music taste, but I'd say those are my top 3 artists.
What are your goals moving forward for yourself?
I really don't like to set a lot of goals for myself. I feel like performance-wise, because you never know what's going to happen. But, I'd say one goal for me is just to enjoy every moment as much as possible. I feel like I've rose to the rankings quite fast, and I think being in the position where I am right now is such like an amazing opportunity. That's something you train so hard for your whole life. So I think this moment I really just want to appreciate where I am and honestly have as much fun as I can.
Like you said, you've risen really fast. How do you now deal with expectations?
Well, I mean, I understand there's probably a lot of expectations, especially having a good result. I really don't like to put so much pressure on myself to I have to perform a certain way or I have to get a certain result because, it's sports and, sometimes you don't have really great days. But, I think being really well grounded and having a good support system around you is really important.
I know you were looking up to Naomi Osaka. What do you think now when you hear that there are kids looking up to you?
I mean, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I feel like I was always that little girl that was being the little fangirl and looking up to so many idols and great players. But to be a role model for other girls too, it's like really touching. I could say that's a goal of mine to just inspire the next generation, especially in Canada. There's so much potential out there.
Victoria, we're going to be cheering you on, and the fans are so lively here. We think that you'll hear them in the U.S. as well.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.